This video is how to operate a economy gravity filler touchscreen. This is the main screen on an economy gravity filler. You can see on the bottom we've got this gray area. The gray area is for errors, so you'll see when somebody depresses an e-stop, you'll see an e-stop fault down there, or backup condition, or waiting on product. These buttons on the left are major functions of the machine, so you can enable or disable product supply system for buffer tank, the conveyor. You can enable or disable the fill heads, and fill cycle is what takes the machine in and out of automatic mode. This has got a total production counter on it, so you can count the total number of bottles that the machine has filled. To reset total production counter, you just press and hold the numerical value that's currently in there, and it'll reset the value. The in-feed container count is how many containers you have counted as you're automatically indexing bottles. These screens on the top are the buttons to get into the next screen for recipe, timers, manual, ASU, which stands for automatic setup, or the filler setup screen here. So we will jump into the recipe screen first, and we'll work our way from the right to the left. So the recipe screen here, you've got up to 5 recipes. You can enter recipe number 4, and you press load data to use now, and it'll bring up the data from recipe number 4. Or you can save this as recipe number 2 by entering a 2 in here and pressing save data for later use. Now we can hit the main button to go back to the main screen. Now we'll go into the timer screen. There's 2 separate timer screens. This is the first one. Entry delay is the amount of time before the entry gate will open. In-feed container count is the number of containers that it's looking for. NBNF time is no bottle, no fill time. So that's the amount of time that the count sensor needs to be illuminated with a bottle in front of it before it will initiate a fill cycle. Exit duration is the amount of time that the exit gate will open, allowing containers to exit before it closes. The fill start delay is the amount of time after you've indexed containers into the fill zone and your no bottle, no fill timer has expired, so you've got containers under your fill heads for 5 seconds or whatever this is set to before it starts filling. Fill head 1, 2, 3, and 4 durations is going to be the amount of time that the fill heads stay open while it's filling a bottle. So these are the ones where you're going to adjust your time up and down to increase or decrease your fill level within the container. The next timer page has exit retract delay in new cycle. So in a new cycle, this is going to delay the exit gate delaying the exit gate retract, essentially extending the time between indexes. Float delay is the amount of time that the float needs to be met in order for it to shut off the product supply valve. So this will help settle down a bathtub effect within the tank so that you get product swaying up and down. You extend this timer so that your fill valve is not opening and closing a bunch of times. Backup on is for your backup sensor. If you have this set very, very low, it'll see a bottle going past and it'll pause the fill cycle. So essentially you want this to be met for 2 to 3 seconds or something like that, so that a bottle will sit in front of the sensor for this amount of time before it'll cause the filler to pause. So we'll go back into the main screen. Now we're going to the manual toggle screen. Manual screen is used just for setup. So you're going to turn on your fill head or turn off your fill head. That can be used for figuring out what your flow rate is on your fill heads. It could be used for troubleshooting. Same with exit gate, entry gate. And the conveyor is the only one when the screen is exited and you go back to the main. The conveyor is the only one that will stay in its toggled state. So if it's enabled, if you force the conveyor on, it will stay on when you exit this screen. All of the rest of these, when you exit the manual toggle screen, will go back to their normal state. So you can run your conveyor what people refer to as hot, so it'll run all of the time rather than starting and stopping. If we go back to main, now we're going to go into our ASU screen, which stands for automatic setup. Okay, so we can set up, if we're running a 4-head gravity filler, you can set up 4 containers upstream from the entry gate. So no bottles will be under your fill heads. You need to make sure that you have how many ever fill heads you have, or whatever your in-feed container count is set to. So if it's 4-head filler, you're going to set 5 bottles in front of the entry gate so that you can count 5 bottles, and then you're going to count 4 bottles, and then you're going to be looking for the 5th bottle. When you have those bottles set up and staged prior to the entry gate, you're going to press clear and reset ASU, and then you can press index ASU start. If everything, it'll open the entry gate, and then bottles will move in automatically with the conveyor. I will count them as soon as it sees the 5th bottle for X amount of time. It will stop. If it looks good and containers moved nicely without hesitation, you can press save index ASU, and that will save your entry delay timer here. So this number should change once you press save index ASU. Now you should be able to go into automatic mode without your fill heads on, and you should be able to index consecutive cycles to make sure that everything is flowing nicely. Now if we go into ASU fill, this is where you can do an automatic setup on fill heads either individually, one at a time, or you can do an ASU fill on all of them. So what that looks like is you can hit reset ASU on fill head 1. You're going to press and hold head number 1 ASU, and it will allow the fill head to open until you get close to your desired fill level, and then you'll pull your finger off of the button, and basically this will count under current. It will count the amount of time that you've held this button down or had your fill head open during the fill. The fill ASU screen or operation will get you close to the desired fill level. Once you get up and running, you will have to make changes using your timer screen, as we talked about earlier. The all heads ASU operates exactly the same way. You reset all of them. It'll zero out all of these preset values. If you hit and press and hold start ASU all, it will open all of the fill heads that are enabled until you pull your finger off of that button, and then you can save that if you like what happened. Now if we go back into the main screen, now we're going to go into the filler setup screen. Filler setup screen is where you're going to enable or disable different functions on the machine. So you can, if you've only got 2 heads on the machine, this one would, you would run head 1, which would say enabled, or you would run head 2, which would say enabled. Heads 3 and 4 would be disabled if you were only running a 2-head machine. Indexing, the economy gravity filler can run in an automatic mode or it can be run off of a foot pedal. If you're running it off of a foot pedal or just pressing the button and you want it to fill without indexing, you'll turn indexing off. If you're running in an automatic mode with pin indexing, the indexing system will be enabled. Fill hold is a feature to help maintain fill levels because a gravity filler is volumetric by time. This will help maintain fill levels by not allowing the fill heads to open until the tank has been replenished to the appropriate level dictated by the floats. So when this is on, it will not allow the fill heads to open. When it's off, the fill heads will open at any given point, whether you have a full tank, halfway full tank, or a completely empty tank. Drip tray is just as described. This is where you would enable or disable a drip tray depending on what you're running or whether you have a drip tray or not. From here, you can go into the I/O screen, which is used for troubleshooting and indicates the current state of any of the inputs going into the PLC or the outputs coming out of the PLC. From here, you can go back into the main screen or back into setup. We'll go back into main, and that concludes the discussion of the economy gravity filler HMI operation.